join me in the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Let's see. We have approval of the minutes of May the 14th. Do we have a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
I'll second the motion.
Mr. Painter?
Yes.
Mr. Ubel?
Yes.
Mr. Humphrey?
Aye. We have a proclamation. And we'll come down and
Carl, you be accepting this proclamation? Yes, sir. Fantastic. Building Safety Week in Clermont County, May the 20th through May 26th. Whereas Clermont County is committed to recognizing that our growth and strength depends on the safety and economic value of homes, buildings, and infrastructure that serve our citizens, both in everyday life and in times of natural disaster, and in our confidence of the structural integrity of these buildings is achieved through the devotion of vigilant guardians, building safety and fire prevention officials who work year-round to ensure the safe construction of buildings. And whereas these guardians are dedicated public servants that are experts in the built environment to create and implement the highest quality codes to protect us in these buildings where we live, learn, work, play, and worship. Whereas this proclamation of Building Safety Week 2018 is to remind the public about the critical role of our community's largely unknown guardians of public safety, our local code officials who assure us of safe, efficient, and livable buildings, and encourages all citizens to raise awareness of the importance of building safety and resilient construction, and recognizes that countless lives have been saved due to the implementation of safety codes by local and state agencies. And whereas each year, in observance of Building Safety Week, Americans are asked to consider the commitment to improve building safety and economic investment at home and in their communities, and to acknowledge the essential services provided to all of us by local building departments and fire prevention bureaus in protecting lives and property. Now therefore, be it hereby proclaimed that May 20th through 26th, 2018 is Building Safety Week in Clermont County. Accordingly, our citizens are encouraged to join in their commitment across America to participate in Building Safety Week activities. Building Safety Week in Clermont County, May 20th through May 26th. And it's signed by the Clermont County Board of Commissioners, Edwin H. Humphrey, President, David L. Painter, Vice President, and David Ubel, Member. Carl, please accept this certificate for all the guys that work in your department and all that they do.
Thank you very much.
You
Thank
bet.
thank you.
Thanks.
We'll step to the
Say a
front
few,
there.
you got a few words?
Yep, a few words.
Just a matter of fact, he does.
Well, I want to thank the commissioners for this proclamation. Building Safety Week across the nation and locally in Clermont County, we will have a celebration next Wednesday in the middle of the week at our office to recognize the individuals that work, our inspection staff and our review staff and our clerical staff. And also, I want to recognize the local fire departments in Clermont and Brown counties, because we also contract with Brown. The inter-cooperation that we have with the local fire departments, I think, is very important and helps us do our job better. So I also want to thank them as well. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm a picture out
We'll
here.
do a picture out in front.
Appreciate it. When does Brown? We met Monday. So we'll have the same meeting and they'll probably come to our lunch. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
We have a consent agenda that was prepared for us prior to, Friday, and we received it Friday. If there are no items that need to be pulled from the consent agenda for further discussion and deliberation, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as prepared.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda from May 16th, 2018.
So moved. Second.
Mr. Ubel?
Yes.
Mr. Painter?
Yes.
Mr. Humphrey?
Aye. And then we have a resolution 59-18 to pay our bills in the amount of $2,244,934.51. Do we have a motion to approve resolution 59-18?
Item number 5. I make
Yes,
a
sir.
motion that we approve Resolution 059-18, resolving to approve payment to vendors in the total amount of $2,244,934.51.
I'll second the motion.
Mr. Painter?
Yes.
Mr. Ubel?
Yes.
Mr. Humphrey?
Aye. Item 6, Mr. Bloom.
Morning.
Hello.
Lyle Bloom, Director of the Water Resource Department, and item number 6 is a recommendation to adopt resolution number 060-18, resolving to authorize the execution of an agreement between the Board of County Commissioners and the City of Loveland for the interconnection of water systems for the purpose of securing emergency backup and bulk water supply to the City of Loveland, as well as reciprocal emergency backup supply to the county waterworks system. With payment for water used to be billed at the current rate in accordance with the fee schedule in effect at the time of usage, and this will become effective July 16th, 2018, for a period of 10 years thereafter, with the option to renew for additional periods of 10-year increments pursuant to and compliance with the terms and conditions specified therein. So we're currently under an agreement with the City of Loveland. The original agreement was executed July 16th, 2008, so we're just preparing this so that we're ready to go once the current agreement expires. And we have used it. I believe Loveland will actually be using it again this summer as they do some maintenance on some of their water storage facilities. They're able to buy water from us to continue to supply uninterrupted water service to their customers.
Well, we also have the similar relationship and contract with Hamilton County or the City of Cincinnati.
With Cincinnati Waterworks, with Tate Monroe, with Western Water, we have New Richmond, we supply, Loveland, or I'm sorry, Milford.
So it can go both ways if
Correct.
Okay. Do we have a motion to adopt resolution 60-18 as contained in item 6?
so moved.
Second.
Mr. Ubel?
Yes.
Mr. Painter?
Yes.
Mr. Humphrey?
Aye. Item 7.
Item 7 is a recommendation to award the proposal for project number 6401-60154 relative to the water system supervisory control and data acquisition, also known as a SCADA system, upgrade project for the Clermont County Water Resource Department pursuant to the specifications to Rowden Myers Incorporated out of Milford, Ohio, for the proposal received on March 22nd, 2018, and subsequent proposed addendum received on April 16th, 2018, at the item prices as outlined for a total amount not to exceed $663,432, and to execute the contract relative thereto, pursuant to and in compliance with the terms and conditions set forth therein, and the award of proposal therefore. And this is in concert with Section 307.86 and 307.862 of the Ohio Revised Code, and contingent upon the release of the purchase order. So this project was done by a request for proposals, or an RFP. There were 2 companies that responded. We evaluated both proposals. We also brought both companies in for interviews. There were 9 different criteria used in the evaluation. Cost was one of those criteria. Cost was 20% of the selection criteria. Rowden Myers did score the highest. They were also the lowest bid. If we were to just do this strictly by bid, their contract price is about $175,000 less than the second company who submitted a proposal as well.
Okay. So we have a motion to adopt resolution 60-18. Nope, sorry. That was the last time. Do we have a motion to adopt the proposal as contained in item 7?
So moved.
I'll second the motion.
Mr. Painter?
Yes.
Mr. Ubel?
Yes.
Mr. Humphrey?
Aye. Item 8.
So brought a glass of water with me. I'm sorry.
Today.
Place here. Item 8 is a recommendation to adopt resolution number 061-18 determining to make improvements relative to the construction, operation, and maintenance of the Locust Lake Lift Station and Conveyance Improvements Project located in Batavia Township, Pierce Township, and the Village of Amelia. Attached thereto and made a part thereof and designated as project number 6402-60141, and in conformance with the detailed plans, specifications, and estimates of costs and financing, all of which shall be paid from one or more of any combination of the wastewater replacement and improvements fund, wastewater capital improvement fund, any portion of any federal or state grant or loan should such become available, and or by the issuance of notes or bonds pursuant to section 133.08 of the Ohio Revised Code, and payable from revenues derived from sewer rates and charges levied for the operation of the Clermont County wastewater system, and subsequent thereto to approve the request to advertise for bids pursuant to the plans and specifications, and to authorize the clerk of the board to place a legal notice in a newspaper of general circulation on Thursday, May 24th, 2018. Schedule a non-mandatory pre-bid meeting on Thursday, June 14th, 2018 at 2:00 p.m. with bids to be received until 2:00 p.m. local time on Thursday, June 21st, 2018. Here in the Office of the Board of County Commissioners, where they will be publicly open and read aloud shortly thereafter, and this notice, the legal notice, will also be posted on the county's website. So the engineer's estimate for the construction of this project is $1,232,193. It includes installation of about 7,100 feet of new force main and installation of a diesel-powered generator at the Locust Lake Lift Station. So by replacing the force main, we're going to make it larger, discharge it further downstream in the collection system, and we'll be able to get more pumping capacity out of the lift station. We've had some wet weather bypass issues at that lift station, so this should address those problems.
What was that estimate again?
$1,232,193. In this project, the consultant did recommend the project to be bid as directional drill, so the force main would actually be like a high-density polyethylene pipe that'll be directional drilled.
Okay.
Is that more expensive than?
No, because we're going to be in a lot of pavement and there's gonna be a lot of traffic maintenance required. We're going right across Main Street in Amelia, so that should help actually reduce costs by directional drilling.
Yep. Okay, do we have a motion to adopt resolution 061-18 as contained in item 8?
I'll make a motion for item 8.
Second.
Mr. Ubel?
Yes.
Mr. Painer?
Yes.
Humphrey?
Aye. Item 9.
I'm Gary Scalf, Court Administrator, Clermont County Common Pleas Court, and I have a recommendation to approve the request to extend the expiration date for the disposition of proposals heretofore received on 3/22/2018 for the Clermont County Common Pleas Court courtroom audio-visual replacement project from Tuesday, May 22nd, 2018 through Wednesday, June 20th, 2018 to provide additional time to continue the review and evaluation of the proposals therefore. We have almost completed the process. We've made a selection of the vendor. It's the low-cost vendor. We were working on the contract in a way to reduce costs even further, with us doing a little bit of the work. And we have just sent the contract over to the prosecutor yesterday. They've given us a go-ahead today, and we're mailing it to the vendor or to the company. And we hope to get it on the agenda within a week and a half.
Gary, the audio-visual system that you guys have over in Common Pleas, is how old is that? Just curious what the life cycle is of audio-visual equipment these days.
I've heard anywhere from 8 to 10 years. This equipment is almost 20 years old. It's analog equipment. We're putting in digital equipment, digital projectors for evidence presentation. We're putting in wired and wireless evidence presentation at each of the tables for the plaintiff's defense. We're getting hearing impaired equipment. We currently have old wooden boxes with headphones that they're tethered across the courtroom for somebody who needs any kind of hearing help. This will give them a wireless ability to adjust the volume and hear what's being said on the record.
Sounds like a major upgrade.
It will be with 4 of our 5 courtrooms.
Okay. We have a motion to approve the request to extend the expiration date for the contract is contained in item 9.
So moved.
Is there a
I'll
second?
second the motion, sorry.
Sorry.
Mr. Painter?
Yes.
Mr. Ubel?
Yes.
Mr. Humphrey?
Aye.
Gary, you got your IT guy here today as well?
He is, yes.
Oh, good.
And he's been instrumental in this project.
Good.
What's his name, Nathan?
Nathan Schuler, yes.
Welcome, Nathan. Is there anything else? Any add-ons?
Yes, sir.
Then we have a need for executive session pursuant to 121.22 G1 and G3 of the Ohio Revised Code to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, and/or compensation of a public employee, and 2, to confer with the prosecuting attorney regarding pending and imminent litigation respectively. Do we have a motion to go into executive session under those 2 sections?
So moved.
I'll second the motion.
Mr. Painter?
Yes.
Mr. Ubel?
Yes.
Mr. Humphrey?
Aye. We'll be back. Okay, we're back from executive session. No decisions were made. We've reached the public participation part of the agenda. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to address the board? Okay. Mr. Hicks, you want to go first? Or you want Mr. Either way.
I was taught in grade school, always raise your hand, and,
There you go. Thank you.
excuse me, I'm turning off my phone, I just don't want to
Yep.
be interrupted.
During this time, the board does not answer questions or engage in debate. No member of the public may comment about matters that are not within the purview of the county commissioner's response. Commissioners are not expected to comment on matters brought to the board at this time. Each speaker shall speak only once and is recognized by the president, and they will have 5 minutes to speak. Mr. Van Zandt.
Thank you. Just signing in, Commissioners. Thank you this morning for this time. For the record, I'm Matt Van Sant, President of the Chamber of Commerce of Clermont County, Ohio. I wanted to hand-deliver the letter to you, to the Commissioners this morning, that was read into the record last night regarding the increase to the what's often called license plate tax, but it's the registration process. The letter, as I said, it was read into the record. I'm not going to read it to you this morning, but I wanted to make some additional remarks. It's no secret that infrastructure is a problem in America. The American Society of Civil Engineers overall gives our infrastructure a D minus. For roads themselves, we upgrade a little bit to a D, but it's becoming more and more of a problem, not at the national level, but also here in Clermont County. One of the statistics ASCE quotes is that damage from road conditions each year costs the public, I think it was in 2015, about $120 billion. And that's not talking about lost time and other kinds of things. And transferring that back to Clermont County, all I know is that we have our same problems with potholes and other types of things. So it's very important that we take care of our highways. I'm reminded today of a story from former county engineer Carl Hartman, and he used to do a presentation called The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And when we got to the bad and the ugly, we talked about these very same issues, road conditions and how can we keep up with these things. And the biggest takeaway I got from that presentation was that Clermont County has in some ways some uniqueness to it. We have a lot of river miles, and we have a lot of hills and valleys, and we have a whole lot of culverts and a whole lot of bridges and a whole lot of hillsides that many counties in Ohio may not have. And so our costs to maintain these county roads is often greater than it would be perhaps in other counties in Ohio. And so I just want to keep reminding the public, the business community, that we have to take care of our highways. It was in 1995 that I was at Applebee's up in Eastgate, meeting with a gentleman named Dick Huddleston. Dick was a managing partner at Miller Valentine and was responsible for helping the Midland Company make the decisions about moving to Clermont County. And we were talking about purchasing 100 acres. The conversation included the establishment of the C.S. Crable building, but we all knew their master plan was to move headquarters out here. And aside from other items that Dick and I talked about that day, he made a very strong case for the need to improve roads in and around the 100 acres that Midland was preparing to purchase. And if you remember 1995, Buxton and Clough Pike were two-lane roads. Worse than that probably was that they were misaligned. So an ideal road alignment is a 90-degree road configuration. But those roads were not aligned that way. It made it dangerous to move vehicles through that area, and we already had some industrial users in that neighborhood. And so, you know, here we are today, 23 years later. Roads are still, as the commissioners know, one of the top three factors when companies make site selection. It's really highway accessibility. So I guess in summary, this increase to the vehicle registration tax is crucial to the community and economic development objectives of the Chamber of Commerce. And on that basis, we lend our support for this worthy initiative. So thank you for taking the initiative. I don't think we can continue to rely on federal and state governments to address all of our needs, and I think this is warranted. So thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Thanks for taking time out of your day to come.
Yep. It's important. Thank you.
Mr. Hicks?
I am Chris Hicks. I live at 444 Woodward Court, Cincinnati, Ohio, 45255. I want to note for the record that Commissioner Ubel has left the room, as he has the tendency to do. The last time I spoke here was in March, over 2 months ago. I appreciate the opportunity to address you on two issues. It is now a full year since it first came to light that a Convention and Visitors Bureau, CVB, that was taken over in a self-described coup d'etat by Mr. Ubel and Mr. Humphrey was exposed as having been secretly lobbying for a tax increase for a secret plan to subsidize FC Cincinnati. After that, crony contracts issued by the CVB to Chris Smith and Jim Komodeka, both business associates of Mr. Ubel, who again has left the room, came to light, as did the creation of the Clermont Sports Development Corporation, a CVB spinoff completely controlled by government officials. In addition, 4 Ohio Attorney General opinions called out the improper CVB board service by all government officials, including Mr. Ubel, Ms. Fraley, and Mr. Tilbury. The coup d'etat, as Mr. Ubel himself described it, took place in 2012. In the period of government control of the CVB, nearly $3.5 million in tax funds were spent with no transparency. To this day, we do not know who was paid, who was enriched, and who got perks. You have multiple options to compel the opening of the CVB books so that we, the citizens, can see fully and transparently who was paid and who was enriched and who got perks. You do nothing save for Mr. Painter speaking of forensic audits while evading this simple point. Let the people see who was paid and enriched and who got perks with our tax money. And make no mistake, once tax money is collected, it is the property of the citizens of Clermont County. At this point, you all are either really dumb, not acting to open up the information when there is nothing to hide, or part of a conspiracy to cover up questionable and improper spending, contracts, and payments. I don't think you're dumb. I think you are hiding information because improper activity took place that could involve some or many leaders in our government and community. I am not going to rest on this. It's going to be your choice to stretch it out. You know you can decertify the CVB at any time unless they open their books. You can replace the board with those who will vote to open the books. It is not hard if you want to be honest and simply let us see who was paid, who was enriched, and who got perks. Now, let me conclude with a call I have made before. Mr. Ubel should step down. There are many reasons. The CVB plot is just one. The fact he was removed from the ballot and is a lame duck commissioner is another. I put forward that it is time to move on and for Mr. Ubel to put common interests first. Of course, he walked out of the room. With the primary election over, step down and allow Claire Corcoran to be appointed so we can all begin to move on. The time has certainly come and the path is clear. Thank you, Commissioner Humphrey and Commissioner Painter. for the opportunity to make these remarks.
Thank you.
Just, Mr. Humphrey, just
Yes,
for the
sir.
record, Mr. Ubel notified me several days ago that he had to leave at 11 o'clock. He had a prior engagement.
Okay. Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to speak to us? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Painter,
Yes.
Aye. That concludes our business for today. Thanks for joining us, and God bless.